All right, welcome on in. It is Socratic Sunday. I am quite happy to be here, partially because it means that work is over and I get to have some more coffee. So, life's going okay. I'm a fan of coffee, life, from time to time. Uh, Other than that, I do not have a ton planned to talk about. Let me pull ground news, because that is my go-to for topic suggestions. Uh, Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of this. Employees face backlash or termination for public comments about Charlie Kirk's assassination. A lot of which are literally just quoting Charlie Kirk, but I, let's see. India's northeast hit by 5.8 magnitude earthquake, no damage reported. That sounds like the one that hit us back in like 2011. It was like 5.1, and like a lawn chair fell over or something. Let's see. Memphis mayor says he got confirmation that the National Guard would be deployed from Trump's comments on TV. Which is definitely a way to run a memo system, I suppose. How about AP News? Do we have anything of interest there? After Kirk's killing, a growing chorus of conservatives wants his critics ostracized or fired. Two men accused of lighting a live bomb under a vehicle in Salt Lake City. Huh. A 58-year-old and 31-year-old. Why? Probable cause statement. Let's see. East Idaho News. Very high factuality. No, I was trying to actually click on the article. Sorry. There we go. Let's see. Uh, Probable cause statement. Suspicious device. Real incendiary device that had been placed under a news media vehicle. I see. Pardon me. Oh, I don't know if it's pollen or what, but I have been like needing to sneeze all fucking day. Uh, Real incendiary device placed under a news media vehicle. Device had been lit but failed to function as designed. FBI called in to lead the investigation. Wouldn't that be an ATF investigation? Alcohol, tobacco, firearms, and explosives? Like, theoretically? Both suspects found at the home during their operation found two devices that turned out to be hoax weapons of mass destruction. They had what? Like a cardboard box with nuke painted on the side? Okay. That is less about their uh motivations than I was hoping to read. Oh well. World's tallest sunflower blooms in an Indiana backyard as a tribute to Ukraine. Nice. My accounts for three. Oh, fucking. Bunch of fucking sports news. Oh, yes. Jair Bolsonaro, was sentenced to 27 years for his attempted coup in Brazil. I think we could learn a thing or two from Brazil. Merrick Garland. Fucking coward. Coward or complicit, to be fair. But I get the impression more the former. Tropical storm Mario brings high winds, flash flood threat to southern Mexico. I hope southern Mexico is okay. Let's see. That's AP News. How about environment? I'm occasionally checking back to see if anyone's in the chat. Da, 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 da. Political leaders confront security concerns and fear after Kirk's assassination. Oh, they have comments from uh, several of Kirk's contemporaries. I choose not to actively, openly engage with that because I suspect people don't come to just chatting to see people rant, regardless of how accurate that rant is. Let's see. Belgian PM attends concert of Israeli conductor axed by festival. So there was an Israeli conductor who was supposed to perform at a festival, but the festival said no, or like it was planned and they backed out. And then the Belgian PM attended a separate event where he played. Okay. Da, 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 da. China launches probes targeting U.S. semiconductors ahead of Madrid trade talks. Yeah, God, Taiwan is in such a tenuous position because of their control over microchips and semiconductors. Do. And a bunch more sports news. EU. Uh, Senator Lindsey Graham says Europe needs to follow Trump on Russia. Yeah, if Lindsey Graham's saying it, I would just do the opposite instinctively. Like double check before you actually do the opposite. But by and large, if Lindsey Graham is telling you to do a thing, probably do the opposite. France 51 years without budgetary discipline. ECB as a silent savior. I don't know what that means. And I think the article's in German. I have not been in a German class for 15 years, and I choose not to take the time that it would take me to actually translate that. Anything else EU of interest? Uh, ba -da -ba yeah, that is questionable. Tech24 concerns mount over EU plans to scan private pictures for child sexual abuse content. Okay, stop AIing shit. I understand that Save the Children is a message that resonates, but this is just a bad idea, especially because, frankly, you know that they're gonna make a database of all the private photos they scan, which means that if there is any of that content in there, it's going to get backed up, which means, frankly, that's going to be an extremely juicy target for a group of unfortunate people who exist everywhere, which means that probably it gets hacked and leaked. Further spreading that content. It's not entirely unlike the Streisand effect, but I guess it's more of a bank vault effect, right? You're putting the thing that people want all in one spot. Probably this is a bad idea. Uh, Austria seeks diplomatic role in Ukraine war and Iran nuclear negotiations. I mean, the Austrians haven't been assholes for a while, and that last one was mostly Germany's fault, so. Okay. Nothing much else there. How's about international? Israel, Sanchez, shame for Spain. Israel and Spain are fighting now? Unclear. Oh, pro-Palestinian demonstrations. And Israel's mad about it because that's kind of their thing. Frankly, if your philosophy and actions can't stand up to any criticism, you should maybe reconsider them. Voost satisfied with CDU result in NRW. I don't know NRW, but AFD is worried, suggests to me. Oh, it's a, North Rhine-Westphalia. Uh, which is a region in Germany. GOP staff hated Stephen Miller so much they spread a rumor that he plays with dolls. Frankly, that's fucking hilarious. White House insists Stephen Miller does not play with dolls. Oh my fucking god. Yikes. Look, Stephen Miller's a fucking monster. You should be able to make fun of him without making things up. However, that's very funny. Frankly, I'm much more concerned about the white supremacy and fascism, but like, if we could get him into playing with dolls so he doesn't have time for the white supremacy and fascism, that might actually be a good move. Pope Leo spoke about the continuously wider gap between the income levels of the working class and the money that the wealthiest receive. Nice. Way to go. I knew that this guy was liked by Pope Francis, so I was hoping that this would be the outcome, but I wasn't sure. Ukraine considers limiting mobile service to counter Russian drones. Yeah, that's one of those really unfortunate wartime decisions that might just have to happen. It does make the lives of the people living in those areas worse, but they do get to keep living them if they interfere with the exploding drones, so. Or the drones that shoot explosives, either way. Uh. Did Lance Twiggs, quote, friend celebrate Charlie Kirk's murder with a, quote, we did it post? Shocking screenshot surface. I don't know who Lance Twiggs is, so. Uh, oh, alleged that a friend of Lance Twiggs, Charlie Kirk's assassin Tyler Robinson's roommate. Okay, so a friend of the shooter's, the alleged shooter's roommate. Which I look, I didn't wish the guy dead. I'm just also going to extend him the same amount of empathy he extended to others, so none. HRC demands Wall Street Journal retract report linking Kirk shooting to the transgender community. Yeah, that's probably not going to happen. Wall Street Journal is more likely to do it than Fox News is, but uh, I'm in LGBTQ news, and a lot of this is about Charlie Kirk, despite the fact that there's nothing actually linking the shooter necessarily to that community. Nothing confirmed as far as I know. Fuck it, natural disasters. Tropical Storm Mario, Sacrifice Review, Virtue Signaling Billionaires Dance on the Edge of a Volcano, and Roman Gavras scattershot sat there. I haven't heard of it, but I'm generally down for good satire if it's good, so. D- 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 AI chatbot helps 180,000 Malawi farmers boost crop yields? Okay. This is where, like, I don't think that AI is inherently evil. I do think evil people are going to use it, though. Is generally the problem. I mean, I broadly have the same opinion of guns. It's a tool. What matters is how you use it. Now, the problem comparing the two is that a gun will do nothing if you don't input it, whereas AI just operates within parameters and expands within those parameters. So it's not a perfect one to one. It's closer to like owning a huge dog with like a violent past. It has the potential to do a shitload of damage. Let's see. Earthquake in Romania Sunday afternoon? Magnitude 3. Okay, so like eh. Do, 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 do. Hyderabad doctor held for possessing 10 kilos of deer meat. We suspect they hunted down the deer. Why? What is this just like an illegal hunting story? Because that seems. Oh, is it just because he's a doctor? Doctor and realtor, apparently? I mean, it's definitely RFK Jr. coded, but other than that. Small torpedo. Yeah. Small tornado appeared near Hodonin in Czechia. Okay. Like, I wasn't familiar with that one. How about offbeat? Those are sometimes fun, sometimes intensely depressing, but sometimes fun. Do, 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 do. Oh, it just occurred to me. I plugged this in and didn't check that it was my output. Yes, okay. Because I am in the Discord call if anyone wants to join. It just occurred to me I hadn't made sure that the earbud was where my sound was going to come out. Oh, I read this. Meth burn by the FBI smokes out Montana animal shelter. Like, intensely, intensely incompetent. Albania names AI minister to run public procurement of AI. Oh, I see. Okay. Uh, Football fans can be rejected from a job if they support a rival team? What the fuck? Wh- Why? The judge defended footballist differences as likely to break the, quote, harmonization of a company. Example was given in a case of alleged cultural discrimination in candidacy because he did not like to, quote, go to the pub. I, what? Wild. Alpaca, donkey, and bear enthusiasts in court over the 1.9 million pound will of a llama loving pensioner. Llamas lose to bears and donkeys in 2 million pound will row. God, that's a very British headline. National Video Games Day. 5 stunning world records. I like video games. Those are mostly cool and less depressing than most news most of the time. I mean, unless we're talking about how video game developers are treated by the companies they work for, but okay, it can be depressing too. Okay. Okay. Okay, so it was Friday. In 2024, a Saudi man earned a Guinness World Record for hooking up the most video game consoles to a single television, 444. Why? That seems like a very stupid thing to do because it's one TV, but okay. Uh, Nigerian gamer Oside Coded Oluwole decided to break a Guinness record in a different way by playing 75 collective hours of the mobile game Dream League Soccer 2023. Holy shit. And broke the record by not a small amount, breaking a 50-hour record set by Briton David Whitefoot in 2022. Even got a pat on the back from the honored Sun Adesanya, member of the Ogun State House Assembly in Nigeria. Okay. 78 and a half hours of World of Warcraft. Why? Also, why World of Warcraft? I feel like Vampire Survivors, right? Like you can enter the flow state, but World of Warcraft, you actually have to sort of kind of vaguely pay attention to what's going on. 88-year-old video game blogger, Chinese gamer Yang Binlin, aka Grandpa Yang, set a Guinness record in January 2024 as the oldest video game content creator on the platform Bilibili. Shares clips of his gaming sessions, plays Tomb Raider and Call of Duty with more than 280,000 followers. Hell yeah, man. And like all good grandparents, Grandpa Yang advises his young followers not to overindulge in gaming and to set a time limit. 13-year-old beats Tetris. Beats Tetris. Oh, like the where you get to the kill screen? From octogenarian teenager, 13-year-old American gamer Willis Gibson became what's believed to be the first person to fully beat Tetris on the original NES. He accomplished it in December of 2023. Posted a YouTube video showing the moment he reached the 34-year-old game's so-called kill screen, which is the point when the game crashes because the software doesn't go any further. Oh my god, I'm gonna pass. Oh my god, yes, I'm gonna pass out. Gibson says in the video, I can't feel my hands. I don't doubt it after however fucking long that took. The kill screen in Tetris is like a ways in. Okay. Hooray for National Video Game Day. That was marginally more happy than the other shit that we've been going through. Real reason ice is slippery, revealed after 200 years. I gotta. Why? Science Daily. Alright. For centuries, people believed ice was slippery because pressure and friction melted a thin film of water. New research from Saarland University reveals this long-standing explanation is wrong. Instead, the slippiness, questionable, comes from the subtle interaction of molecular dipoles between ice and surfaces like shoes or skis. These microscopic electrical forces disorder the crystal structure of ice, creating a thin liquid layer even at temperature near absolute zero. The discovery overturns nearly 200 years of scientific thought and has wide implications for physics and winter sports alike. Ice is slippery because of electricity. That's all I got from that. I mean, cool, I guess. I'm down for scientific discovery. I just don't know what the implications of that are. Lions kill longtime keeper at Bangkok Safari World Zoo in front of tourists. Oh, I read about this. This sounded like a suicide. Like the guy got out of his vehicle at what was effectively like a driving zoo where you drive through. Uh, and I was seeing that basically I was assuming this was about the same one I read, and I don't want to, say the wrong thing here, but as far as I know, this guy basically stepped out of the vehicle and turned his back to the lions for like 3 minutes, which for a big cat is basically saying, kill me. Now, if there was another zookeeper, I'm hoping that was not, someone else that I was talking about, but as far as I know, that was that one. Wild boar crashes through sliding door, loiters inside of house. 30 to 40, 30 to 50 feral hogs, that's all I'm saying. In Kentucky, apparently. 300-pound feral animal charged the deputy multiple times until it was lassoed and removed back in the woods. Hell yeah, Kentucky. The sheriff's office called the incident a burglary. Said the animal went hog wild. I mean, yeah, alright. Look, you're bored, you gotta write the paperwork up anyway. It's fair. Space. How about space? Is space doing fun things or being depressing, generally? Clearest gravitational wave signal sets LIGO confirm Stephen Hawking's area law and care black holes. Yeah, I read about this. This was also a theory Einstein had, I think. But like we finally have the proof for it. NASA's Webb telescope just found strange red dots that shouldn't exist. I've seen this movie. Black hole stars. Neat. As long as they're, far away from me. Otherwise, I've seen Event Horizon. Pass. Thanks. Uh, Russian Progress spacecraft arrives at the ISS with 2.8 tons of cargo. Nice. James Webb Telescope discovers massive naked black hole in early universe. Okay. I'm going to ask the stupid question, I guess. What is the difference between a standard black hole and a naked black hole? Are most of them clothed? I'm going to click on the article that has naked in quotes because they understand the question that I have. Fuck. But the article's in Spanish, so never mind. That was on me. I didn't look at the Okay. Yada yada. That's cool. I would like, please, for you to explain to me why it's a naked one. This is brilliant, by the way. Like, if you name things weird shit, people are forced to look just out of curiosity. Uh, solitary, quote, naked black hole in the early universe weighing at a staggering 50 million times the mass of our sun. That seems like a lot, but frankly, largely beyond human comprehension. Like, it's a bunch, for sure, but are there a few mathematicians that can genuinely grasp that? Maybe, but 50 million times the mass of our sun? Like, sure, why not? I'm just gonna take your word on that. Black hole spotted in raw data. Less than a dates back to when the cosmos was less than a billion years old. Unlike typical supermassive black holes nestled in the hearts of galaxies, this one floats alone, earning its naked moniker. Okay, thank you. Absence of an accretion disk or stellar companions. Okay, that's very interesting. Thank you, the James Webb Telescope, and also my grandfather for working on the James Webb Telescope. Okay. How about technology? Frankly, I'm not clicking on the US politics tab. I'm not mentally up for that right now. Chinese AI system could slash submarine survival to 5%. That sounds bad for submariners for sure. OpenAI board chair Brett Taylor says we're in an AI bubble, but that's okay. I mean, obviously, this is very reminiscent of the dot-com bubble. Um, Pro-Palestinian demonstrators force early end to Spain's top cycling race. Ah, that's what it was. Okay. Final stages of the Spanish Vuelta. I kept reading Spanish Vuelta and I didn't know that. It's the Tour de France, but for Spain. Got it. Thank you. That I kept reading something about pro-Palestinian protesters and the word Vuelta, but I lacked the context. The obscure visa program that could blow up Trump's alliance with big tech. God, I look forward to the day when I do not have to read about that man in the news every day. Okay. Um, is there anything else that I wanted to talk about? News. How about news? Kirk suspect, quote, not cooperating with authorities, governor says. Translation: Kirk suspect exercising Fifth Amendment rights. Like, I. Roblox and Discord sued after a 15-year-old boy was allegedly groomed online before he died by suicide. That was an entirely terrible headline that kept getting worse as I kept reading. The man encouraged the child to turn off parental controls. Yikes. Oh, it's a COPA thing. I was reading that at 13 years old, you're old enough to turn off the parental controls. It's a legal thing, not a. They are forced to allow 13-year-olds, or they are forced to keep individuals under 13 from doing that. But at 13, they are. Oh, yeah, this motherfucker. Just kill him. What the fuck was his name? Uh, Brian Kilmeade. Just suggested killing homeless people for being homeless. I want to say that's fucked up, and I hope that he, like, lives in the ashes of his career forever. But frankly, I'm concerned he will be the new housing secretary under this regime. Uh, Equatorial Guinea enforces year-long internet outage for island that protested construction company. What the fuck? Ebola vaccination begins in southern Congo. That's awesome. San Diego Navy doctor fired after right-wing activists find pronouns on her social media. Yeah, because we don't have a healthcare provider shortage or anything. Jesus. The fuck your feelings crowd really cares a lot about their feelings. It's your feelings that they don't care about, to be clear. Uh, Fox News' Brian Kilmeade apologizes for saying mentally ill homeless people should be executed. Yeah, I don't buy it. NATO announces more air support to defend Poland against future Russian incursions. Good call. Poland's got kind of a bad history with those. Okay. That's probably all the news I'm going to go through today. I suspect that there is something else to talk about. Let's see. I should have been streaming long enough that my coffee is cool. Oh, fuck me. I'm streaming under Sekiro. God damn it. Deepest apologies to anyone who came looking for Sekiro. Shit. Hold on. Fucking A. Well, that could be why people weren't commenting. They came for Sekiro and I was doing just chatting shit. My own damn fault. God damn it. That frankly makes me embarrassed enough to want to just call it there, because clearly I'm fucking tired. But, sure, fuck it. we continue on unbothered, pretending to be unashamed. Oh well. Uh, this is my one problem with the Socratic Sunday streams. I work most Sundays for like 8.5 hours, and I am generally pretty fucking tired by the time I get home. Uh, so occasionally mistakes happen of that nature, where I've got almost everything lined up. I got my go live messages up. I got my face cam and name in here now. But I did forget to change the fucking title and the category, so that's on me. Okay. Sorry, I was just checking my schedule for my job on the farm, which is not up yet. I will be adjusting my stream schedule significantly in relation to that for 7 or 8 weeks, and then it should go back to what it was, give or take. Um, I will hopefully be streaming still 4 times a week, but it may be shorter streams on. There'll be no streams Friday or Saturday for sure, because I work 14-hour shifts those days. I'm hoping to keep Socratic Sunday rolling, except for I think October 13th I can't, because that is the one weekend that we have 3 of the 14-hour shifts in a row. Uh, Other than that, I will probably have longer streams Tuesday, Wednesday, because the farm is closed on those days. Though I have left myself available for the job at the gun range that is open Wednesday, so I don't know if I'll be scheduled for any of that in October. Um, Actually, I haven't even put in my schedule request for October yet because the sheet hasn't gone up, but not a problem. Let me actually, God, my brain is clearly fried at the moment, so I am a little all over the place. Where are we? Come on. There. All right. September schedule. Okay, I worked my last day today for September at the range. But I may or may not be working some of those Wednesdays in October, in which case I would not be able to stream on those days. So if you don't follow the Discord, that would be a great thing to do because that's where I put up schedule change announcements. I may also do some of those on Blue Sky. So I'm not sure what the exact schedule is going to be. Assuming I'm not working most Wednesdays, I'm hoping to stream longer, think like 5, 6 hour stream kind of thing, with a couple like 3, maybe 4 hour streams scattered throughout the week. Probably Monday and Thursday. Actually, that might be the way to go. Or actually, I might go Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, um, and give that 3 day gap, Thursday through Saturday. Yeah, that's probably the way to go. Um, I believe my stream schedule will remain consistent next week, but tomorrow's stream I won't be able to do, so I'll be streaming Tuesday. It's Okay, my hair being down is bothering me. I spend most of the time with it up, but I kind of liked having it down on stream, so that'll probably fluctuate back and forth. I had a thought. I was in the middle of a thought. Stream schedule. Should I? I will not be streaming tomorrow. I will be streaming Tuesday to make up for that. And then Wednesday, Friday should be normal this week. No, that's wrong. Wednesday will be normal this week. Friday I'll be busy. So shit, I might stream Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week. Clearly, my schedule has not. I haven't totally caught up with exactly what I'm doing. I think the Monday through Thursday or Sunday through Wednesday rather, streaming that I was talking about during the farm season will be feasible. Though God, I am gonna be wiped the fuck out. It's gonna be great too if I'm still playing like Sekiro or a Souls game. Just come home basically unconscious and hope that I can parry shit. Just play Dark Souls 1 as a sorcerer. Stand very far away from enemies and smack them with soul spears. Do I have any other thoughts regarding stream schedule? You know what? Actually, let me make notes so that I can fucking go back to them because I'll be better off if I do that. And if anybody is going to type in the chat, I will be back to that screen in just a second. Do, 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 do. Whereabouts? I'm just gonna. Really? What the fuck did I call? I had a document that was like specifically for streaming ideas. And I put that shit somewhere. Okay. Fuck it. This document is now stream plans. I am not a note taker, generally speaking, but it is. I am tired enough that that seems smart. Also, anyone else enjoy Google Docs? I am a significant Google Docs enjoyer. I know a lot of people like just tend to go Microsoft Word, but I swear Google Docs got me through college. My sister will tell you spreadsheets, either Excel or Google Sheets, but I very much believe in Google Docs because I can just send them to people and give them editing privileges. It makes life so much easier instead of bouncing a Word document back and forth in an email. Made group projects totally feasible in college. So much less direct communication that had to happen just because we all had access to the document. Hell, I think I still have an extension in my Google Docs from my college days. Like Zotero, yeah, which was a citation editor which was like several computers ago, but it has followed my Google Docs so that I have it available, I guess. I graduated college. I haven't had to actually write a proper MLA citation for a while. Or Chicago style. Fuck Chicago style. MLA makes sense. Chicago style is just weird. Is there anything interesting that is currently down? I check down detector sometimes to be like, who's having a bad day right now? Apparently, a little bit ago, it was the ESPN fantasy football people because there's a huge fucking spike on their timeline where they apparently went offline. Hulu also had a similar one. Peacock apparently had a bad start to the day, but is doing okay now. Sadly, Twitter appears to be still basically functional. Unfortunate. No, I do love downdetector.com, because it makes life vastly easier if I'm having a problem accessing a website and I'm like, is this a me problem or is it a them problem? Down Detector is basically it's like an open reporting system. So I contribute to that when I'm having problems and I check it to see if other people are having problems. It's a handy tool. I also need to do some gun research for a friend because we were discussing getting them a bolt action rifle and we didn't know what exactly we wanted to look for. Hmm. Okay, that's not great, but less awful than it was. Sorry, I'm looking at ammo because I was also at the range with this friend, which is what made me think of checking for the ammo. 762 by 54R. God, it used to be 20 fucking cents for that ammo, and it's the cheapest I'm seeing is like 45 cents around. Oh, that shit used to be so good and inexpensive. That hurts me. Okay. It's fine. I bought like 400 rounds of Russian surplus shit years ago, and I've still got a ton of it because shooting that thing hurts. Turns out a Russian rifle made for fighting in heavy coats didn't take into account that punching the shit out of the soldier's shoulder might be a problem because the heavy coats. Okay. Uh, in point of fact, if you're in chat and have a particular bolt action rifle you're fond of, especially a good starter, I'm trying to get this friend a good starter bolt action rifle, but my familiarity with modern rifles is a lot less consistent than what I know about military surplus stuff. So I know Tika is very well regarded, and I'm personally a big fan of Ruger. So I've heard the Tika T3 and the Ruger American are both good. Okay. Okay. That okay. The Tika T1X is like a Tika T3, but in 22. Okay, at 500 bucks, that's not terrible. I mean, it's terrible compared to what you could get 2, 3 years ago, but 5 years ago at this point. Oh, I didn't realize Tika was a Beretta subsidiary. Huh. News to me. Let's see. The Ruger American Compact, also an option. For $359. Okay. Not opposed. Henry Classic lever. I want a lever gun. I'd like it in 357, but I would take it in 22. There's something stylish about a lever gun, man. Ooh, CZ 457 Varmint Precision Chassis 22 LR for $1,000. Ooh, I'm sure it's a lovely gun, but friend is not looking for that kind of. I suggested a Ruger 1022 because I don't mind shooting it a little fast, but they liked the bolt action, made them slow down, consider their shots. Oh, Reddit 22LR Ruger Precision Rimfire Savage B22 CZ457. I'm also seeing in the comments Tika T1X Ruger Precision isn't really all that great. Wouldn't buy it again. It's okay, but it's not really precision rimfire. It's a rimfire trainer for their precision rifle. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. What does Bass Pro Shops have for me? Much of the same, actually. Bass Pro wants to know my location. Pass. Now, sadly, there was a 100-yard indoor range near me, but that closed down. Place was the size of a fucking Costco. It was so nice. I miss it. Sort by low price, hypothetically. I love doing this, and then it's like, magazines for the guns. Sometimes. Okay, I'm not looking for a cricket rifle. Not saying it couldn't work, just pass. Uh, I love when I sort by lowest price, and it's like, hey, here's a company you've never heard of. I'm like, makes me feel iffy. I'm not saying it couldn't be good, but I do feel a touch trepidatious about it. Rossi, which does not. Rossi's. I've seen many questionable reviews of Rossi as far as quality control goes. Winchester Wildcat semi-auto rimfire. Not looking for semi-auto. Savage Mark II bolt action. I've heard the Savage series are like decent, but broadly that Tika and CZ are where you want to go, or Ruger. That is a wild camo pattern in fucking pink and whatever. Sorry, I'm not displaying this. It's pink forest camo, which is the weirdest shit I've ever seen. It's a forest, but the background is pink, so fuck it, sure. Yeah. Okay, so we could look as low as the like 250 range. But now I gotta look at their centerfire pistols, because I'm a pistol guy and I want. I want to window shop. Like to be clear, I'm not purchasing anything. I just want to know what they got. Oh god, the Heritage Rough Riders up to $180. That's sad. That shit's usually $100, though I guess it might be waiting for a Black Friday sale. I have a relatively equivalent gun to the Heritage Rough Rider, but it's the Ruger Wrangler because I trust Ruger as a company more. Okay, we're up to the Ruger Security 9, which, look, I want to I'm not a huge striker fired handgun guy. I prefer to have a hammer on it, but mostly just preference. Like, it's not a huge deal, but I just prefer it. And I know that the industry is moving away from that. I mean, especially in the wake of Glock's success, which makes sense. Oh, Ruger Mark IV. I may or may not be inheriting a Ruger Mark II at some point. Um, or a Ruger Mark One, actually. I apologize. I am hopeful I'll get that one. I mean, it's not a big deal either way. Like, I will eventually own a semi-auto 22 pistol. Just a question of whether I buy one or inherit it. You know what I should be looking for is Hogue grips. Smith and Wesson M29. Okay. Because my grandfather on the 44 Magnum I inherited had custom grips, but they're plastic and they're old enough that they're separating a little bit, so it really digs into your hand when you pull the trigger. So I'm hoping to get a decent grip for it. Okay, they're rocking like 35 to $40. That's not bad. What does Hogue make grips for the Ruger P series? I feel like the answer's no. Why would they? But they might. Oh my fucking god, they do. Oh, it's a universal grip sleeve. Okay, so it's not. Oh no, they do like a Ruger P85. Mine's a P89, but I'm pretty sure that's the same. Okay, I might do that. I've heard good things about Hogue grips for years, and I just haven't gone and purchased any. Yeah, I would. For two reasons, it's tough to shoot the 44 Magnum. One, it kicks like a fucking mule. If you're using 44 Magnum ammo, 44 Special obviously is a little easier, but the other is that ammo's fucking expensive. I love shooting 22. We were discussing this at the range. I bought my 9mm ammo at about 30 cents a round. I bought my 22 ammo at 6 cents a round. So I have a revolver, a 22 revolver. And I said, pulling the trigger on my 9mm once is equivalent to pulling the trigger on my 22 revolver 6 times. So I feel much more comfortable sending that shit downrange. Also, I bought 3,000 rounds, so, you know. I need to get those friends to a local gun range for pistols because we were out at an outdoor range rocking like out at 100 yards. And I felt really good because I was ringing steel at like 80 yards with a pistol, a couple of pistols. And they were having a good time with my rifles, but and my Ruger revolver was definitely the star of the show. That little 22, super easy to shoot, very fun. But it's single action, so you don't like start blasting away with it. You have to think about each shot, draw the hammer back. Uh, I did not teach them the like cowboy action fan the hammer thing because I'm I try for gun safety. It's my goal every time. So that's one of those that like it just seems like a bad idea. Like I know that there are people who do it, especially with like the Single Action Shooting Society. I'm very impressed by them. I'm good. I don't practice nearly often enough to be comfortable doing that. Nor do I want to be that guy at the range if there's anyone else there. We kind of had a that guy at the range on Tuesday. We went and there was a guy with a 1911 on his right hip and a Beretta 92 on his left hip, and more than once he was shooting both of them in one in each hand simultaneously. And I'm like, yeah, you're being that guy, man. Like it all went downrange. He wasn't flailing around. He wasn't muzzling anyone. But I'm like, that's why. Maybe don't. Uh, is there anything else that I want to talk about with guns? Almost always the answer to that question is yes, just to be clear. But I don't have any particular topics. My trouble is I'd love to get them to a range and rent a bunch of 9mm guns, but A, kind of expensive, B, uh, the local ranges don't currently have the particular 9mm that I want to see if my friend likes. Because I would love to find a Beretta Storm, PX4 Storm. Okay, I do not need this Browning high power clone, but I want it. Remember the thing I said about window shopping? Okay. Let's see. Probably for my friend size would be the compact carry 2, starting at $900. Okay, so we buy used. Fuck me. All right. Starting from $700 for the standard PX4 Storm compact. Okay. But I rented a PX4 Storm with a friend who was looking to get one years ago, and it had the smoothest double action trigger pull I've ever felt on a handgun. And like a 17 round 9mm double stack mag. If I didn't already have my Ruger, it'd be the kind of thing I'd be looking to buy for carry purposes. Which, by the way, I have a concealed carry permit. I still don't have a holster that I use for it, so. Okay. I should have said for sale. The really sad thing is Beretta discontinued the PX4 Storm. Oh, fucking. Oh, God, not Gunbroker. Why? Why? Yeah, sure, I'll verify I'm human. Let's see. Okay. There are some deals on Gunbroker that aren't terrible for this. Starting bid 825. That's more than the recommended on Beretta's own website for it. Love Gunbroker sometimes. I know what I got. Nah, no, you don't. Okay. Uh, yeah. Whatever. That gives me stuff to send my friend at least. I need to stop looking at this Browning high power clone because I want it. And I know that I will not be spending that money right now, so staring at it is just despair, basically. Or a mounting sense of despair that like, I want this thing, but I know I can't have it, so staring at it does me no good. Should have won that $1 billion lotto a couple weeks ago. I really fucked up there. I bought a ticket, but apparently I bought the wrong ticket. Hey, Nisrat, how's it going? I'm hoping to go, 3 hours at least. Um, I've currently been up for an hour and 16 minutes. We talked about news. We talked about my trip to the gun range. But other than that, been a pretty quiet stream. By the way, you gotta wait for the internet to get better. Okay. Just so you know, I will not. I'm just gonna put this in the chat. Sorry, given this route. Oh, you can't hear me? Cool. Fuck. Uh, I was focused on typing and didn't actually look at the chat. My bad. Uh, what I was saying was, I'm hoping to be on for at least 3 hours tonight. I will not be streaming tomorrow. Uh, because I have a work thing. But I will be streaming Tuesday instead because I'm free. But I have tractor driving practice tomorrow night, which is very easy, but they're gonna pay me for it, so sure. I'm more than happy to participate. Uh, what about this stream? This stream is gonna be Socratic Sunday. I'm gonna hopefully stream for about 3 hours. Uh, ideally, I wrap up around 9, possibly as late as 9:30 if I get a little more active chat going on. Cause I am fucking wiped out. You missed the start of the stream where for the first 40 minutes I was streaming in the Sekiro category because I forgot to change it from Friday's stream. So I was doing a just chatting stream in the Sekiro uh category, which I'm sure confused one or two people who wandered by. I wish one of them had been like, "Hey, dumbass, you're in the wrong category." But I will hopefully be back into Sekiro Tuesday. And my coffee's gone. Terribly sad. There's apparently a massive open world sale on the Xbox right now. Which is neat, but I own most of the open world games that I want to. And as much as I'd like to pick up Hogwarts Legacy at 80% off, I can't support J.K. Rowling, even if it's a small amount of money. Ambulance Life, a paramedic simulator. Why? Like, I used to be an EMT. I enjoyed being an EMT, but I was helping actual people. I don't. It's like the inverse of why I like shooting games. I'm not shooting actual people. Though I guess that's a mixed bag, right? Like, if you're playing a World War II game, you're not actually killing Nazis, so real shame there, but gods will fall, apparently. It's 90% off right now. Has a 2.5-star rating. I think I'll probably pass, thanks. LA Noire is on sale for $20, which seems like a lot given the game came out 12 years ago, but whatever. It is very good if anyone has not played it. Homefront the Revolution is a thing that they're apparently still asking for money for. Oh my god, that game was fucking bad. I was so disappointed in that game because the trailers look cool as shit and the gameplay was so buggy and fucked up. Uh, the Metro series. Actually, I'm seeing Metro 2033 Redux and Metro Exodus, but not Metro Last Light, which is a shame because I think that's the best of the three, but oh well. Oblivion, nice. Uh, Red Dead 2 for like not the Ultimate Edition is $15. If anyone has not played Red Dead 2, do that. It's fucking amazing. As a person who loves Red Dead 1, I think Red Dead 2 is better. Shadows of Doubt. I heard about that game back when it came out. I know Yahtzee Croshaw broadly thought it was like pretty good. Um, the like 3.9 stars seem to suggest that it's pretty solid. God, Star Wars Outlaws, that was a solid 7 out of 10 game that bumped to 8 for me because I really like Star Wars. So playing around in that universe is something I enjoy, but I definitely have no illusions about exactly how good that game was. I'm sorry, The Witcher Complete Edition. So The Witcher 3, and Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine collection is currently $10. If you haven't played that, stop watching this and go do that. It'll only take you like 100-ish hours, give or take. Possibly, depending on how fast you play. Took my dad longer, but he plays slow. Uh, God, I want to go back and play Ark, and I know it's such a bad fucking idea, because I know how I get with those sorts of survival games. I don't even play PvP, I just don't. I don't manage my time well when I'm into those. And I would like to be. I would like to pretend that I can control my own behavior. That would be good. Buy one, get one DLC sale, apparently. I don't know about most of it and care about even less of it. I hope people who do care about it get some good deals. Publisher Spotlight Series. Civ 7, which apparently did not get great reviews, which made me sad, not because I care about Civ, but because Gwendolyn Christie was the narrator, and I want to see her get more work. Also, does anyone else remember how bad they fucking wasted Captain Phasma in the sequel trilogy? Like, okay, granted, not the biggest problem with the sequel trilogy, but still. Uh, God, there's a bunch of shit in here that I mostly don't care about. Okay, The Darkness and The Darkness 2 were good games. And at $4 and $6 respectively, that's totally worth your time. Or worth your money for your time, I suppose. They're not crazy, but they're fun. Do, do, do. Lichdom Battle Mage. Speaking of games that Yahtzee Croshaw fucking obliterated. He was like, it's Yu-Gi-Oh with math, but also you blast fire out of your hands. I'm paraphrasing a bit. He also made a lot of fun of the title's implied colon between Lichdom and Battle Mage. I believe that was the video where he started adding a dry heave to any game that had an implied colon. Jesus Christ. Uh, Onichanbara. 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 The sexy sister duo, Aya and Saki, use their swords and hotness to fight legion upon legion of killer zombies. That looks kind of old for, what are the kids calling them these days? Gooner games? Yeah. Fucking Christ. Very big gameplay. Enormous fun. Large. Yeah, okay. Christ. How old's this game? 2007. Yeah, okay. That's about what the art style looked like. I'm sorry, why? Crypt of the Necrodancer pinball. Why does every fucking game have a pinball? And why do people apparently enjoy pinball enough to buy themed pinball games? Virtual pinball games, to be clear. Uh, Pinball FX, Indiana Jones. Why? What is South Park pinball, Snoopy pinball, Pacific Rim pinball, My Little Pony pinball? What the fuck? System Shock pinball. By the way, I'm a little disappointed I was not streaming when I uh originally played the System Shock remake because it was so fucking good. I might replay it on the stream at some point because I don't think I got all the achievements on that one. and that might be enough excuse for me to go back and play it. I might also play the Moon Crash DLC for Prey 2017 at some point, because I beat the game like 4 times, but the Moon Crash DLC came out later, and I wasn't really into roguelike or roguelite stuff at that time. And that's apparently a really good roguelite mode. And I'll fucking try it if nothing else. XCOM 2 is another game I could play on stream. XCOM Enemy Within. I believe I have both. I know I have XCOM 2 on the Xbox with a bunch of DLC, and then Enemy Within I believe I own on Steam. God, does anybody remember the game Outriders? I actually played a fair amount of that before giving up on it. I did not finish it, but I did play pretty extensively with my dad and my sister at the time. Activision Blizzard is apparently having a sale, which okay, I got a lot of thoughts about Activision and Blizzard. But let's not for the moment. Like I said, I'm not here exclusively to rant. Ideally, I'm here to, have some fun, meet some people, hang out with them. But oh, son of a bitch, they have Call of Duty 2 and 3 on sale. God, 3 was not a good game. But it might be my excuse to buy both for digital download, because they're $10 a piece, and I can live with myself doing that. I could also actually buy. No, I owned Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. I have the disc in the other room, so I'm good on that. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare is one that I still haven't played. Black Ops 2 is 70% off at $18, which is actually not bad. I think that's still overpriced this many years later, but it's Call of Duty, so I guess they are able to do what they want, because clearly people are buying it at these prices. Oh, the fucking okay. So the Modern Warfare remaster, the Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare remaster, I was so fucking mad. They left out a DLC, the Variety Map Pack. And when you do a remaster, you generally include all the DLC from the original game. And 2, the original Variety Map Pack cost $10 in the Microsoft Store for the DLC download. The Variety Map Pack for Modern Warfare Remastered was $15. And I'm like, you can't make an argument about inflation on this one, because it should have been in the game to begin with. That one was just offensive, frankly. And I refused to ever buy it, so still haven't played that one. Or played with the Variety Map Pack. Let's see, is there anything on my wish list that's on sale? I did add the Blood of Dawnwalker to my wish list, which is not, like, they don't have a release date set yet, but all the ads I've seen for it make me very interested. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. I am not good at 2D platformer shit, but it looks really good. And it's currently $14. And I have games on my list, so I'm not gonna spend that money right now, but I am interested in doing so eventually. I wish Salt and Sanctuary ever went on sale, but frankly, even not on sale, it's $18. Like, I should really just cope and go ahead and buy it, because I do want to check it out, though, again, 2D game, but it's Dark Souls and 2D Metroidvania, and I'm like, I like those things, though I broadly prefer 3D Metroidvania just because Dark Souls 1 did it so well, and supposedly Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers did it really well until the devs pushed an update that broke the entire game, because some Chinese reactionaries got fucking mad, which is a choice. Um, Frankly, if they were gonna do it, just push that update where those people are. Don't like force everyone else to deal with that bullshit. I don't know what I'm playing after Sekiro, but I also have no idea how much longer Sekiro is going to take me, or if I'm going to do multiple playthroughs. So, sure. Apparently, there are free play days on some games right now. What are those? The Escapist, The Walking Dead. I don't. Okay, whatever. I don't care. Bad North Jotun Edition. I don't know what this is. It's very highly rated, but it does not look like it's for me. Rogue Waters. That looks like a piracy game. I need further information. It's top down. That's not inherently bad. Rare rogue pirate adventure from Warsaw, Poland. Challenges are always procedurally generated, but once you see how many modules and cannons and items are in the game, you'll be hooked like a big fish. Feels better than most. Great game for the price. Gets big things right. A hidden gem. Better than Sea of Thieves. $25 games are the best. Okay. I mean, shit. I guess I could put it on my wish list. I'm probably not playing it at any point in the near future. It's currently $15. It's a pirate tactical turn-based roguelike. Sale ends in 20 hours. Probably not going to spend that money, but I will add it to the wish list on the off chance it goes on a better sale later, or I come into a little more money. Imperial. Imperial is a complex, challenging, feature-rich action RPG. Far-flung corner of the galaxy, an expedition arrives on hitherto unexplored planet to find a colossal monolith built by a lost civilization. Amid ruins, the monolith is filled with danger. The expedition is ill-equipped to unearth the secrets within. 3.4 stars. Has potential. Solid game so far. Worth it. Like the game. Nice. A lot of fun. Meh. Has flaws. Souls-like. It's a 1-star review that says Souls-like, which, like, I like Souls-likes, so that's not necessarily a turn-off for me. Uh, Gameplay looks odd, but not necessarily bad. Yeah, probably pass on that. How about Game Pass? Anything fun? Because right now, until someone hops in chat, I'm just kind of yapping. So finding a topic for which to yap about is gonna help. God, some people are really digging Silksong, and I am very impressed by all of them because I am not good at 2D games. And apparently Silksong is harder all around than Hollow Knight, which I still haven't played. It's on my to-do list. Paw Patrol World, yes. Clearly that's the next game I'm streaming. That's totally for my demographic. Games under a gig, that's actually kind of a fun category. Hell yeah, Vampire Survivors. I just saw that the dev of Vampire Survivors is apparently making a publishing company to help, like, I think his quote was to spread the luck. Like he's aware he got super lucky in that Vampire Survivors really took off, and he's hoping to help other indie devs publish. Which is, I think, a very laudable goal. I don't know how it's going to work out, because indie development is a fucking nightmare. Expedition 33 is a game I still need to play. How long is that game? Because I want to know before I really get into it, but if it's like a 30-hour game, I could stream that. Here is another website I use constantly. How long to beat? I did this even before streaming just to get an idea of what I was getting into. But, oh shit, Expedition 33 is on the first page. 28 and a half hours. I said 30 would be fine. Completion is 66 hours. Okay. So I will add that to my games to stream, cause it's on Game Pass and I'm down. Uh, I don't, I don't think that I want that to be my stream game while I'm working at the farm. I get the impression it's kind of there's not a non-offensive way to other video games to say intelligently written. But like it's a deep world that you want to have time and energy to consider, whereas some other stuff on here I'm like I could play a Call of Duty game or I mean hell even MGS5 or whatever or the Dead Space remake. The Dead Space remake I could play just because I've played the original, so I know more or less what the story is. But I would be hesitant to play like Expedition 33 or like Baldur's Gate 3, which I'm not playing anytime soon because when that game came out, I spent 700 hours over the course of like 2.5 months playing it. It was a problem. I no lifed that game. But I did really enjoy it the entire time. I beat the game 6 times, once in co-op, the rest solo. Karlak, by the way, for those wondering. But yeah, fucking phenomenal game. And I'm hoping I have a couple of friends that I would like to introduce to the game, and I don't know if it's cross-platform yet. I know there were plans for that, but it will probably need to be for us to all play together, given our current hardware. Assuming none of us, makes a great deal of money in the meantime, which seems unlikely, as one is still a student and the other is just breaking into a part of a workforce that is not enormously well paid generally. And sadly, my seasonal work at the farm is seasonal, so I can't make that kind of money year round, which is a real shame because I would love to work for them year round. I really, really like the people who employ me there. They treat their employees more like human beings than just about any other employer I've ever had. And they are capable of respectfully disagreeing with me. Um, though I think it helps that I'm capable of respectfully bringing up my objections. We've had a back and forth about letting cashiers sit for years now, and like I can because I'm physically disabled, but I think all the cashiers should be able to sit, and there's a back and forth, and I don't even disagree with all of their points. I just still think that all the cashiers should be have the option. Which reminds me, I actually need to send one of them an email regarding that. I told them to anticipate it. I send the email annually. I'm like, hey, it's that time of year because this is the fourth year I'm working for them, and I suggested this the first year I was working for them. And so every year since, I've been like, hey, this is this year's version of the email. Here's a source that says sitting cashiers do well. Uh, okay, that's kind of all I got. Oh, the Indiana Jones DLC, did that come out? I'm not currently inclined to actually buy it at $18. But I did really enjoy the game, so I will probably play that eventually. Fuck it, that goes on the wish list. My wish list is basically a bunch of I would like to play this someday. I will wait for a huge sale, but that's I don't know for anyone listening who's familiar with the Patient Gamers subreddit, but I definitely fit the description. Like I don't need to play a game the moment it releases. I will get there eventually. Now, I probably should adjust that philosophy for streaming just because uh I'm aware that people like the games coming soon are or the games that have just come out tend to be the most popular. So finding and playing those is a good way to keep up interest in one's channel or be found. But I don't there's not even anything coming up that I can think of that's like I am so fucking into this idea. Like Silent Hill looks cool. Probably play it eventually. Uh the fact that they're making Painkiller I really don't know if Painkiller's a remake. I don't know, but they are coming out with another Painkiller game. Outer Worlds 2, my dad's excited about. I played the first one and thought it was decent, but thought that Obsidian hadn't outdone their work in Fallout New Vegas as far as games that I really fucking love. Uh, I mean, I'll play Black Ops 7 on launch, but that's I have Game Pass, so it's not like I'm committing any money to that. Oh, 007 First Light. If 007 First Light is as good as I hope it is, I am very excited about that because I played the fuck out of the IOI Hitman games. To give you an idea, the first game I went and got all the achievements in. The second game came out and it had achievements for the second game, but it also included the first game and achievements for all the like the same achievements. Did those two. So I got all the achievements in one again, and then all the achievements in two. Three comes out with one and two bundled, and so I got all the achievements in three, and then one and two again. Like I really, really liked the IOI Hitmans. So I'm very excited to see them take on James Bond, for a stealth like spy game. I think that will be very, very cool. I'm looking forward to that a great deal. But I believe the current release date is like March 2026, so no rush. I love that it has 4 reviews already, which how? It's sitting at 5 stars with 4 reviews, despite not being out for until March, almost April of next year. That feels questionable. Okay. I am installing Darkwood, which is more survival horror games, very top down like Conscript. But I have heard about it for years, and I think it was one of the last games with gold when Microsoft was still doing that. So I own it, but I haven't played it. So I will download that. It's like 3.5 gigs. So that is definitely something. If people are interested, let me know. because I've heard good things and I am interested in playing it, but as always, the backlog just continues to expand. So I just put that on my list of games to stream, which I basically, as I'm approaching the end of a game, I will scan that and be like, all right, next stream is whatever I decide. I may at some point tackle the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, but that's gonna be a whole fucking journey. So, love me some open world RPGs, but three back to back might tire some people out depending on what the channel's up for. I'm currently getting a few people coming in because I'm doing Souls-like things, which is cool because I like Souls-like things. I still haven't beaten the DLCs for Remnant 2, which is Souls-like, albeit the least soul-connected one. Like, the gameplay loop is very Dark Souls, but the leveling system definitely isn't. That's it. I loved Remnant and Remnant 2. Played all the DLC for one. I'm missing one achievement, and I'm fucking annoyed about it because it's an RNG achievement, and I just need to like reload one particular area until a certain merchant spawns, and then I'll get the achievement. But I'm like, do I care enough to go back and do that? And so far, the answer has been no. Let's see. Do I have anything else I wish to discuss? Probably. Uh, I mean, fuck it. Let me be like YouTube channels and just glance at Reddit for a topic. But I'm not AI reading it out, so sorry about that. Do, 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 do. Oh my god. Someone on the gun subreddit said something about financial decisions, and they have a uh, Barrett M82, a pair, like two different Barrett M82A1s, which are, for those who don't know, anti-materiel rifles that fire 50 BMG rounds, which are like, I don't know, $4 a round. Shit's fucking expensive, and the guns themselves are like 8 grand a piece. Jesus. Woody Allen says Jeffrey Epstein, quote, couldn't have been nicer, unquote, at dinners. Yeah, he had something to sell. No shit. Okay, top comment. He didn't rate me. Nice fella. Christ. Let's see. Oh, I'm envious. On the MilSerp or military surplus subreddit, someone posted their M1 Garand M1 carbine, and 1911. Oh, love me historical guns. I am envious. Fuck yeah. Africa feeding 20 million more children with school meals, World Food Program says. An Irish commenter says, "What is this nonsense? Positive news on my doom scrolling application? I shall not stand for this. There has to be something nefarious behind this." It's really nice occasionally to just read good news. Like, it's nice to remember that good news exists. Uh, uh, they're trying to sell me a Switch 2. Not enormously likely, given that I don't own a Switch 1. That said, those motherfuckers are keeping the next FromSoft game exclusive to Switch 2, so yeah. Duskbloods or something? I don't know, shit looked good. And they were like, Switch 2 only. I'm like, fuck. But I want to play it, and I'm not buying a Switch 2. I'm sorry, it's not happening. Okay, that is broadly everything I had to talk about this evening. I'm sort of oh, that was the Vampire Survivors creator made his own publisher to quote share the luck. Hope it works out, man. Guy seems real cool. And didn't jack the price on his $5 enormously popular game. And sold DLCs for that $5 game that were like $2 a piece. And I bought those because the game was on Game Pass, so I didn't pay for that. But or I mean indirectly, but he put out like 3 DLCs at $2 a piece, and because I had Game Pass, they were like $1.80 a piece, and I'm like, yeah, sure, I will support this person because I like his work. Uh, oh, did anyone else see Trump say that smart people don't like him today? I'm like, no lie detected. But God, does that tell me what you think of your followers? Okay. That's probably everything that Reddit's going to give me, at least for the moment, unless I start digging through shit and basically just start reading Reddit, which is not my goal as far as Socratic Sunday. My goal is to sort of ramble on a topic, and then if people come into the chat with topics of their own, I will either look up or ramble on, or both, about that topic. For instance, the discussion I had the other day about the origin of the term bullseye with Yvonne was illuminating. I didn't know that it was that the term was as new as the 1830s. Uh, Probably in relation to the growing popularity of archery in England, but that one's broadly a guess. Because I think the first reference they found was in London in the etymology dictionary. But I don't know. I like learning stuff usually, except for most of the news. That's depressing as fuck, but I consider it important, so here I am. Why do I have Deep Rock Galactic installed on here? I played that game like once. Whatever, it's not like it takes up space. It's less than 4 gigs. I could play Frostpunk. I've been hearing about that for years. That would be an option to play at some point. God, I am ready for a fucking nap. I had a very, very busy day at work at the gun range today because it's really nice out and a weekend, so we were packed, which meant I was moving a lot of ammo around. And would you believe they put lead in that shit? So it's kind of heavy. Um, and I was even like grabbing cases, slinging them over my left shoulder, and hobbling around with the cane in my right hand. So that's never comfortable. I fortunately mostly am seated in a rolling chair and can work out of that, but we were selling so many cases I had to grab some more out of the back today. And that shit's heavy. Uh, what else do I have upcoming? I'm trying to remember, honestly. Um, Besides work on the farm, I will have a couple of. So for 2 weeks, one day I will be going on a Tuesday up for ketamine treatments in late September, and then like the 7th and 8th of October or something. Yeah, I think it's the last day of September, and then the 7th and 8th of October. So I may or may not be streaming on those days. I would love to, but also, believe it or not, half a gram of ketamine will really take it out of you. Sorry, I'm just trying to find my schedule on that, which is why I'm looking down at my phone. Deepest apologies to people who are in here. Do, 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 do. Whereabouts? I am having difficulty finding this in my fucking schedule. God damn it. Okay, here it is. Jesus. 5th, 6th, and 8th of August? No, that can't be correct. What the fuck did we. I'm looking at the wrong conversation on my phone. God damn it. Da, 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 da. Okay, so it looks like the 1st of October. So 1st of October and then the 5th and 6th of October, I think, if I'm reading this schedule right. I will have ketamine treatments, so the streams around that time will be probably less consistent. Okay. Wait, son of a bitch. That was regarding my July ones. God damn it. Oh, this is entirely my fault. Okay, I say that. It's kind of my fault. So, it's my fault in the sense that I didn't write this shit down. However, trying to schedule shit while I am coming down off of, again, half a gram of ketamine is, call it tough. Like, it does not matter that it is prescribed and that I need it, uh, and a doctor has, like, sent me to a professional to administer it. It's still fucking ketamine. It is, hits like a truck. Uh, yeah. Wait. Fucking. Okay, I don't know. I will just text my mother, who tends to be my lifeline on these kinds of things, because she's sober when we make these plans, so she puts them in her calendar. Okay. Okay. And I'll send that when the stream's over, because I don't want to get in a texting conversation with my mother on camera. That seems like a whole thing that is not enormously fun to watch. I don't know. I guess if I put the text on screen, it could be more interactive, but I don't know. My mom's never texted me anything weird. Probably safe, but I'll pass. Thanks. Actually, I said that. My mom's never intentionally texted me anything weird. Most of her problems with phones and me relate to accidentally pocket dialing me for unknown reasons. Okay. Where is my water? Okay. 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 Uh, I feel confident that there's stuff and things to talk about, but here I am at a rare loss for words. do actually want to take a moment to uh uh I'm just throwing in. Why did I hit that key? The fuck? Do better, brain. Okay. I just wanted to put that in the announcements channel on the Discord. And I'll probably copy paste that to the blue sky so I can skeet that, which is apparently a thing. I occasionally feel old on the internet. Let's see. New post. I'm just doing this while I'm thinking about it so I don't forget. It would work better if I clarified Eastern Standard Time, which I did not in my Discord message. Okay, and I should put PM in there too, because it was foolish. Can I edit the thing, or am I stuck with that? Edit interaction settings. I just want to edit the fucking post. Can I not do that? I'm seeing. Okay, apparently the answer is no, so I'm just gonna delete that. Cool. New post, and just add PM. Same goddamn thing, but just for clarity. I remember my math teachers were always like, use units. It's important. The number alone means nothing. And I, who was not great at math, was always somewhat irritated and then became, older and an adult and learned how fucking important that is. Actually, honestly, I knew that shit in high school too, because I was doing a lot of stuff for, hey, would you look at that? It's time to ban a bot. Are we, okay, today or yesterday, I'm going to say. August 22nd, 2019. Interesting. Hmm. Banned. All right. Uh, Christ. I was in the middle of a thought and it went the fuck away. Uh, Okay. Do I have anything else that I want or need to discuss? I did tell Nasrat I was going to aim for like 3 hours, so I do want to do that. I got about 45 minutes left. And I'm confident that I can find something interesting to talk about. I do want to take a moment. God, my screen looks like my sister's right now. Just so many fucking tabs. Though honestly, it's not even that bad. My tabs look like one of the three windows full of tabs that my sister tends to have open on her computer. I'm not entirely clear how it does not just cook her. Granted, her laptop is better than mine. Okay. Is there anything that I want or need from uh I have a fairly large good old games library that I would like to continue to expand, and Amazon Prime puts out a bunch of games on GOG. There's also Epic games that they put out for free that I don't want to deal with having an Epic account. GOG is one that I'm more comfortable with. So I just broadly don't bother making. I feel like I tried to make an Epic account years ago, and there was something in the process that I was like, nope, I'm good. But yeah, I got 93 games in my collection on Good Old Games that are just mine now. So I'm down. I have no objections to just continually getting a stream of free games that I may or may not ever play. They also have Amazon games, which I don't know exactly how those work. It's kind of a whole thing that I tried to do and couldn't figure out. Whatever. Take what we can get, I suppose. And GOG is good by me. And I just realized. Hey, how's it going, Nusrat? You'll rule the world one day. Oh, what about Charlie Kirk and the evidence that came up after his death? Okay. So there's a lot there. Uh, to be clear, I didn't wish death on Charlie Kirk, though I am willing to extend to him the amount of empathy he extended to others, which is to say, none. Uh, it was very interesting watching a bunch of right-wing platformed people claim that it was clearly a insane leftist communist trans shooter whatever, and then find out that it was a white kid from Utah that was raised Mormon and whose grandmother claims the whole family is MAGA. uh Consider me not at all shocked. Apparently, guy's a fan of Nick Fuentes, which is another one of the Charlie Kirk style podcasters. Um, I I think the messages that he left carved into the shell casings suggest that his state of mind is not contingent upon reality. or certainly does not seem to recognize the seriousness of his actions. Uh, Assuming that the individual in custody is the shooter, which appears to be the case. But yeah, there's a lot going on there. Um, I did not like the man. I do feel bad for his wife and kids that were in the audience. I'm hoping that the kids don't remember it because they're like toddlers right now, but I'm hoping that that one doesn't stick. Because frankly, they don't deserve that one way or the other. Like, no matter how much I disliked him as a person, uh, there's a book on Amazon that predicted it. It was published the day after the incident. I mean, that feels very conspiracy minded. I'm I'm getting the impression that this is that predicted his death. Sure. Uh on the other hand, he was a guy who was very inflammatory, very right wing. Let me read a few of his statements off that I want to be clear that I do not agree with before I read them off. But a lot of people have been getting like fired basically for just quoting the guy, like in the context of him getting killed. I don't see that happening to me, but to be clear, uh, Charlie Kirk quotes, if I see a black pilot, I'm gonna be like, boy, I hope he's qualified, end quote. Which is explicitly judging people by the color of their skin rather than the content of their character. Uh, he claimed America was at its peak when we halted immigration for 40 years and we dropped our foreign born percentage to its lowest level ever. We should be unafraid to do that. I would like to clarify that we actually were in a huge economic depression at the time, and we entered a huge economic boom right about the time that we started letting immigrants back in. Uh, he claimed the American Democrat Party hates this country. They want to see it collapse. They love it when America becomes less white. Uh, Not really a thing. He claimed America has freedom of religion, of course, but we should be frank, large dedicated Islamic areas are a threat to America. Which, no. Uh, he also said, happening all the time in urban America, prowling blacks go around for fun to target white people. That's a fact. It's happening more and more. It's not a fact. It's not a thing, generally. So yeah, just to it was edited after the date was edited after the incident. I mean, someone predicting that Charlie Kirk, who was a highly inflammatory right wing reactionary, racist, bigoted, homophobic, etc., would eventually get himself killed, doesn't strike me as enormously impressive. Like, you piss off enough people. And the irony is that it was a right winger who shot him for being either it's a little unclear at the moment just because it's also recent, but the implication is that it had something to do with him defending the Trump administration not releasing the Epstein files. However, that is currently just postulation. That's not necessarily the case. So, from what you heard, Donald Trump was the first to report it. Okay. technically his death, yes. That said, there was a video from the front row that I don't recommend anyone seek out. He was dead the second that bullet hit him. He was reported as in critical condition because law enforcement officers have a standard operating procedure where until you've had time to inform the family, you don't make a media announcement of someone's death so that the family has time to like come to grips with it so they don't find out a different way. Like you don't want your chief of police to say, "Hey, X individual has died," and then, have the family find out from a friend on Facebook or something. The idea is to break that news in the calmest and most controlled environment possible. Trump doesn't give a fuck about any of that and just wants to be the center of attention. So yeah, he reported it on live news. The man is. Uh, that's a very, very long rant. Point is, generally speaking, you want to keep that information quiet until the family has had time to find out. That said, I saw the video from the front row, and that bullet hit him, and he was dead that instant. Like, and that one tweet. I'm sorry, you're gonna need to be slightly more specific because A, I'm not on Twitter, and B, dude tweets and Truth Socials insane shit constantly. I'm gonna need like more clarification. Like, should what you're talking about be obvious with any other individual? Yes, 100%. However, we are unfortunately in a terrible timeline where this motherfucker just says unhinged shit constantly. And while I would ordinarily ignore him as an old man with clear onset dementia, sadly, he is currently the president of my country, so I can't fully ignore him. Uh, that one tweet. Hold on. I'm just gonna Google Charlie Kirk Trump tweet. Uh yeah, I don't see anything that I think you're referring to. If you can link the tweet, I'll take a look at it, but I dude says unhinged shit 24/7. Forgot his name. Some celebrity says he knows some close people to Charlie, and they said Israel would kill Charlie if he ever opposed them in a tweet. Interesting. Uh, Look, the IDF is busy committing genocide against Palestinians. I don't know that Mossad is gonna bother with fucking Charlie Kirk. That seems unlikely, especially since we have the kid who went to police and seemingly confessed. Uh, oh, he talked about the Epstein files. I mean, yeah, it was kind of large news. It was also one of the first times that there's been any pushback from MAGA on Donald Trump, generally speaking, is that he didn't release the files. There's a wild sort of dual think that goes on. Still up the stream? Okay. Frankly, I'm not going to listen to Charlie Kirk talk for that long. My brain doesn't need that kind of damage. But it's definitely The Epstein files were a thing that the right wing in the US wanted released because they were firmly convinced that Bill Clinton was in them, and the left wing wanted released because they knew that there were many rich people who had largely evaded justice in them. And so the right was always like, you should release the files and get Bill Clinton. And they expected people on the left to be mad. And they're like, no, like, get Donald Trump and Bill Clinton, who are like literally anyone who's in the files. Try them. Go for it. Because we don't do the team sports thing nearly as much on the left side of the aisle. Uh, which is how MAGA seems to treat politics. But no, I mean, I had heard of Charlie Kirk, but I didn't engage with him because I knew he was a kind of a piece of shit, uh, racist, homophobic. I wasn't gonna be watching any of his shit. I had no interest in the white supremacist shit he was espousing. Not my thing. Pass. But yeah, it was definitely a surprise when he got fucking shot. Shouldn't I get a notification about someone buying bits? I have no idea. I don't think I'm currently set up. Yeah, buying bits, I don't think triggers a notification. Sending bits would, but I don't think you can send me bits. So, like, I think I need to be affiliate for that to be a thing, which I sadly have not quite reached. I'm getting closer. I'm, gaining more followers. I'm getting more general view time, but I'm definitely still a small streamer who is going to open Instagram and TikTok right now to remind myself to make an account later. Oh, I was talking earlier about my schedule adjustments. So you bought bits for no use. I mean, they don't go bad. You can eventually send them my way. Do feel free once I get to that point. But sadly, I do not have that ability at the moment. Uh, I appreciate the thought. I really do. But unfortunately, I cannot. Uh, I just don't have that set. Sorry about that. I was talking earlier about my stream schedule, which I think after the 19th of September is going to switch to Monday evening or Socratic Sunday streams, and then I'm going to stream Monday evening after work, and then Tuesday and Wednesday, and then not stream Thursday, Friday, Saturday for the like 7, 8 weeks that I'm working on the farm, and then it'll go back to the previous schedule probably. I'll post an update in the announcements as that's coming up. And probably, I think I can alter the schedule without too much difficulty on Twitch's end. But I will put an update in both the announcements in Discord and and I guess if I've got, Blue Sky up and running and various other things, I may do that as well. But yeah, I mean, so the Charlie Kirk assassination is very interesting to see how various people reacted to it. It is very unfortunate to see that people are losing their jobs for basically saying like Charlie Kirk was not a good human being, and here are quotes that prove it. Um, Also, the weirdest thing is that they are giving Charlie Kirk a military, like a funeral with military honors, despite the fact that Charlie Kirk never served in the military. Granted, they're also giving Ashley Babbitt a uh, funeral with military honors, despite the fact that she died failing to commit a coup against American democracy. So who the fuck knows? It's just watching fascism rise in my country is not fun. Uh, I knew a lot about it from history textbooks, but watching it live, not great. Don't recommend. If you know anyone who's a young art student who just wants to be a painter, like help them improve. That way they don't take over the Sudetenland. What is fascism? Okay, so it is defined in several ways. Personally, I find the best analysis comes from Umberto Eco. Let me see if I can find fascism real quick. Uh, shit. Give me a second, I can find it. Fascism. Okay. I'm gonna send a link in the chat. He wrote this a couple months after I was born. So, uh, Umberto Eco was a an academic who grew up in fascist Italy. So his thoughts on fascism are very interesting. The other one that I use is the Three Pillars of Fascism, which the Public Leadership Institute has up. Demonization of domestic enemies, so people who live within your borders. Uh, and honestly, I'm just going to read from the Public Leadership Institute's page here. Fascism creates a myth of victimhood that the majority of the population is in a humiliating decline from past greatness, see Make America Great Again, because of a singled out minority population or singled out minority populations. It's an us against them crisis, the myth goes. The targeted racial, ethnic, religious, or gender minorities and the quote unquote liberals who support them are thus framed as not just opponents but enemies, demonized so the majority can feel justified in hating and repressing them. So that's pillar one is demonization of domestic enemies. Number two, preposterous lies. I will remind people that Donald Trump in 2024 not only claimed that Haitian immigrants were eating dogs and cats of people who lived in their town, but also claimed that U.S. prisons were doing gender transition surgeries, or sex transition surgeries rather, on illegal immigrants. Like, preposterous lies does not begin to cover it. And then three, contempt for democratic institutions. Let me actually also put this whole article in the chat as well. But contempt for democratic institutions, the amount of attacks that have happened on just public servants trying to do their jobs at various federal agencies is fucking insane. The amount like the man tried to commit a coup in January of 2020. He failed, but he presidentially pardoned like 1,500 people who helped in the attempted coup. He is attempting to give military honors at Ashley Babbitt's funeral. Or rather, holding a military funeral for her, I think, because I presume she's been dead 5 years. I assume they've had a funeral. Uh, Despite the fact that she was just one of the people trying to help commit that insurrection, uh, and was the only one of them that was killed. So fascism is those three things primarily. But Umberto Eco is also good to read because he has a really good insight on what fascism looked like up close when he was a child, as well as taking a look at fascism in various other countries over time, and talking to people who had lived under various fascist systems in like fascist Spain or fascist Germany, and basically concluded that the thing that tied together fascists was a lack of empathy. They were incapable of putting themselves in others' shoes, and so their hatred for others, their inability to empathize with them, allowed them to commit these great evils against other human beings because they couldn't see them as people, or chose not to. And to give you an idea, there's also I gotta look up the specifics because I don't want to misspeak on this. But the right wing in the U.S. started talking about the sin of empathy, which in Christian circles it is like Jesus fucking Christ. Uh, it was basically the idea that uh, empathy was somehow bad. And that was very championed by the right wing in the U.S. earlier this year when Trump was inaugurated. And I think there was a bishop that said something about needing to be empathetic, and they all fucking attacked her. It was a whole fucking thing. But yeah, that is the very basics of what fascism is. That is a very top-down view. It's not super specific. But it's what I got. I could go into the specifics of fascist Germany off the top of my head, but I would have more trouble with Franco's fascist Spain. And I know a chunk about Mussolini's fascist Italy, which honestly compares better to current American fascism than German fascism does. Just because Donald Trump and Mussolini were both very egocentric rulers, so everything was viewed through the lens of how it affected them. Whereas Hitler, while evil, had an ideology. Like, it was an evil ideology that he shouldn't have had and certainly shouldn't have pushed on others, but there was an ideology at play. Whereas with Trump and Mussolini, it's always about them, self-aggrandizement at the cost, like, to be paid by the taxpayer. And in fact, Mussolini was killed while trying to sneak out of fascist Italy once it had fallen to the Allies in World War II. And what he did was he got a German soldier's uniform and tried to sneak out. And this didn't work because he'd been putting posters of his face up all over the country for the past, like, 15 years. So he was caught and then beat to death. There is a picture of Mussolini tied upside down, naked, and beaten to death on the internet. I don't recommend that you look for it, but it is there. Uh, yeah, no, dude did not end well. Like, probably marginally better way to go than Gaddafi, but not awesome. When did Mussolini die? It was tail end of World War II, but I don't know the exact date. Benito Mussolini. Uh, died in 1945. So yeah, tail end of World War II. 28th of April. So that would have been a month and a half after victory in Europe was declared, give or take. The fight for Japan was still ongoing for another few weeks at that point, but Europe had officially ended the war at that point. I'm not going to put the picture up just because it's pretty graphic, but it is out there. And put it this way, I don't blame the Italians for what they did. That was actually one of the things I liked in the new Indiana Jones video game. It's a lot to take in. Yeah, it really is. Um, and it's one of those things that for me was a historical curiosity until 2016 when the US started leaning more and more fascistic. Um, I really wish we weren't here right now, but knowing what I do does at least I understand all of it. I wouldn't say I understand all of it. Um, put it this way. I know more about it than 99% of people, but among that 1%, I'm not exactly an expert. Um, I know a lot about it, but I wouldn't call myself an expert to be sure. It's yet another thing that I have picked up and stored in my brain over the years. History fascinates me, and connecting history to current times is ordinarily a very fun and interesting subject. Doing it because my country's descending into a fascist autocracy is less fun, for sure. Really wishing that one wasn't happening. But as someone who does understand a fair amount of the history, it does make it fairly easy to predict what's going on. And I find it very interesting. A lot of people will be shocked when the Trump administration does this or that. And I'm like, no, that's the direction we've been moving. Like, historically, we are in 1934 or 5 Germany at this point. So like that's where we're at in the cycle. It's going to be really interesting to see where we go from here, and not in a good way. I would love for this to have a happy ending, and it doesn't. Not for a lot of people who have already had their lives destroyed, not for a lot of people that are going to in the coming years. Probably end fine for Donald Trump, though. He's rich and seems to be immune from consequences. Man was convicted of 34 felonies and then given the presidency of the United States again. Because consequences don't stick to him. They don't. He doesn't count. He's rich and apparently above the law, which is supposed to not be a thing in the U.S. But I mean, it was always quietly a thing. Like if you had money, you were more above the law than most people. But it's gotten a lot louder. The quiet part got a lot louder with Donald Trump specifically. But yeah, when I was a kid, I read a quote that sounded very good. Donald gotta have it like the Italian dude did. I don't see that happening, and I won't advocate for it here. Uh, but given the pattern of how fascist leaders tend to go, it's not going to be a happy time for him. Though, to be perfectly honest, the man is overweight and in his 80s. Like, that. There are a lot of old people and there are a lot of fat people. There are not a ton of old fat people. Like, it just, that doesn't mix much. Like, it can happen, but it's not generally something that lasts long. Uh, but it's the quote that I heard as a kid was that those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. And I kind of took that to heart. I'm like, okay, I'll learn from history so I don't make the mistakes of our ancestors past, you know? Um, the part of the axiom that was not conveyed to me was that if you learn from history, lots of other people won't. So you'll know what's going to happen and you'll know how to avoid the mistakes. But good luck telling other people who don't know the history and trying to have them not repeat the mistakes. Because if they don't care, you just get to watch in horror as other people repeat the mistakes of history. And be depressed, basically. Be very unhappy because you knew this shit was coming and you told people and they didn't fucking listen. Or didn't care. Some cheered it on. Some still do. Really wish they didn't. But I've said before, I. Exactly what's happening in yours? Oh, yeah. It's. I honestly, I haven't been keeping up that closely with what's going on in Iraq recently. Most of the news I hear out of the Middle East is Afghanistan or Israel. I mean, the Israel conflict with Palestine. I would say the Israeli Palestinian conflict, but frankly, that's fairly one sided. Absolutely a mess. All right, see, now I gotta read up on it. You've said that there's information there, and now I gotta read up on. Actually, you know what? I bet I can add. Yeah. I can add news stories about Iraq to my ground news, so I can keep up with what's going on. Not going to be able to help anyone on the ground, but I will at least be more informed. You have no idea the president, the overall state of Iraq? Okay. Oh, that's cool. Lost 1930s photos help Yazidis reclaim their heritage after ISIS left the area. High-ranking Iranian official is searching Baghdad for the weapons smuggling file. Sunni cleric killed in a mosque in Iraq. So just like everywhere else, bad news. Really thought ISIS had left, but no. Okay. Iraqi and Syrian democratic forces destroy ISIS caliphate. As of... Was that today? That's DoD news. Why is there no date on this? That's vastly unhelpful. CENTCOM and partner forces conduct operations in Iraq. Well, it sounds like people are at least fighting back against them. Here's hoping they are either... The problem is you can't wipe them out. It feels like a fight that you could conceivably win through violence, but practically speaking, the ideology will not go away because you killed the fighters. And in fact, the people who knew the fighters and sort of believed in the cause that they're espousing are more likely to become radicalized if you kill their friends. The best bet is de-radicalization, but that is hard, takes a long time, and by and large is not 100% successful. So it's very, very difficult. I'm not saying I know what to do. Unfortunately, when you have a group that violent, responding with violence is kind of the option that you have. But ideally, you want to figure out how they got there and attempt to prevent others from falling down that ideological rabbit hole. But yeah, here's hoping that they are either driven off or de-radicalized. I don't see either as enormously likely. Well, actually, driven off is possible, but de-radicalized seems like a long, long shot. Yeah, God, I've been reading about what ISIS has been doing for, oh Christ, 15 years, give or take. And they really were pushed back for a very long time. But it's one of those things where you can't eradicate the ideology through violence. It just doesn't work. Because as with many of those ideologies, a lot of it comes down to the idea that the group is inherently oppressed. And so coming along and killing a bunch of them just makes them go, see, we're so oppressed. Clearly, the rest of our bullshit ideology is correct. Um, it's dealing with what are functionally fundamentalist cults, particularly violent fundamentalist cults, is a delicate operation, and especially when you are forced to use military forces to engage with them, that can go badly because unless you have really skilled negotiators, psychologists, etc. on those teams, they're there for violence. So violence is all they tend to bring to the table. It's one of those things that I wish there was a better answer for, but like, don't get me wrong, ISIS is a violent extremist sect of a religion, and I think defending oneself against such a sect and working to dismantle the power base of that sect is a good thing, but trying to eradicate it simply breeds more extremism. All right. I worked for 8.5 hours today and have now streamed for 3. My brain is starting to melt a little bit. And frankly, it's 4 a.m. where you are, so probably you should get some sleep. I do appreciate you being here, though. I'm gonna probably head on out. Thank you as always to Nisrat for swinging by. Thank you to anybody watching the VOD in the future. Have a good day, night, evening, wherever you are. Stay safe, and goodbye.